10 responding to hail. You are cleared to dock. Welcome to UC Space.
Green lights on outer hatch. We're docked.
Captain, it is.
If there's anything I can do for you, please say the word. Thank you. Did you have any trouble en route? Good. Very good. Here's your pay, and your continued discretion would be appreciated. Was there something you need? I'll be here when you need.
Landing commencing.
No wonder no one will work for you. My man is missing, and you're all just here, what? Waiting for him to wander back through the gate?
Mr. Haft, we are trying, but we don't have the manpower.
And now half my crew thinks your little band of convicts is just waiting to drag us off and scrap us for organs.
Mr. Halftown, our security officer has been put into the infirmary trying to find your worker. We're doing everything we can. All I ask is that you, your crew, be patient. You have nothing to fear from us convicts. We are handling it.
Then get it done. Or else we are going to have problems.
You have my word.
My crew isn't lifting a finger until my man is found. Can't believe I bought into this place's crap reform program story. Because I'm not the one whose job it is to keep this place secure. I'm just the guy who thought I could trust the people giving us this job. Don't know, huh? The staff, they're all ex-cons. This place we're building is gonna be some kind of resort to rehabilitate other criminals. Teach them how to strip ship engines or type 40 words a second or whatever to keep them from having to commit more crimes. A couple of them already went through the training. Now they want to get this place done to turn out more students. Why does anyone take any job? Credits, and these folks have plenty. But I mean, come on. What they're selling here? Fixing the settled systems by giving criminals career training? You really think the Crimson Fleet are just one typing course away from becoming model citizens? Only thing we've had plenty of on this job. Time to think. And look, I know some folks have it tough out there. I've employed my fair share of ex-cons over the years. But you know how they turn their lives around? They did their time and got jobs instead of making the same bad choices again. Those are options everyone's already got. No retreat required. No, that's not, huh. Yeah, I guess maybe you got a point. Maybe. But I'm sure you didn't come here just for a debate. Let's talk about something else. I'm supposed to be the construction foreman. It's my job to make sure the Helios retreat gets built to whatever standard these folks want so they can run this reform program or whatever. But it's also my responsibility to make sure my crew can do their job safely, which sure as hell isn't the case right now with one of my people missing. So right now, I'm just waiting. Oh yeah? Can't be worse than the situation we're already in. The boss, Sloane, she's heading up the manhunt, if you can even call it that. Talk to her and she'll get you up to speed. Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, love, but the Helios retreat isn't taking new residents right now. We've had some issues. A missing person chief among them. But you're welcome to rest up and refuel here as long as you'd like. So long as there's no bounty hunter after you that's going to kick my brand new door off its hinges. Not yet, but it's certainly a risk, given the retreat's intended line of business. But I'm not about to send anyone packing who might just need a place to collect themselves. Well, at the moment, it's primarily a collection of shipping containers and unused construction materials. But the plan is to make this place into a growth and education residence for the galaxy's incarcerated. We'll offer job training and a support network for folks that otherwise just while away their days in prison just because they didn't have the credits to pay their own bounties. Get them all the tools they need to set up regular, boring lives like the rest of us. I know it can work. Have the notation to prove it. We did an 18-month pilot program before we started setting up shop here. We're happy to now call 2 of the participants employees of this very facility. They just needed some help getting their footing, and once this place is open, we're going to expand on that success. Well, thank you. Always striving to make my presence in the universe a net positive, but still got a lot of ground to cover. But I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to listen to me blabber. You're probably exhausted. Monica should have any supplies you might need. She's just out front of the main building. And our ship services tech is out near the landing pad if your vessel needs some tending to. And if you need anything else, or just want to talk, you come find me. If you can believe it, I was Crimson Fleet. Scouring the skies for loot and glory. Ended up finding a hefty prison sentence instead, which, honestly, was probably the best for me and the galaxy at large. You'd expect right, even at the best of times. But I'm sure you didn't come here for an ancient history lesson. Was there something else you wanted to discuss? Well, once we officially open our doors, the retreat's going to have to be a lot of things to the formerly incarcerated folks we plan to bring here. Residence, school, a place for reflection. Nevin, He handles everything infrastructure related, while I take care of everything our residents might need to get them moving along healthier paths. I make sure we've got the facilities to support everyone. I arrange all our occupational training. Even got my counseling certification a few years back so I can serve as a compassionate ear when people need it. Well, like I mentioned, the retreats are a modest attempt to change how the galaxy deals with those who find themselves on the wrong side of the law. Once we're open, the goal is to take in people whiling away in prison because they couldn't pay their bounties. We'll get them job training and a support network. All the tools they need to set up regular, boring old lives just like the rest of us. We're trying to do what we can to help those who need it. That the truth? Because I can't say it's going to be easy work, but if you found the construction crew's missing man, we'd all owe you. Well, he was last seen a few days ago, so we don't think he could have gotten far. We sent our lone security officer to find him, but things didn't go according to plan out there, and now he's taken up residence in our infirmary. So if you're offering, we'll absolutely take the help. You don't know how happy I am to hear it. First things first, you want to speak to Greg D'Angelo, our security officer. He was wounded searching for our worker, Mr. Killman's trail. He should be able to get you pointed toward Killman's last known location. Thank you again for helping us. Here if you need me.
Who are you? Can't the guy heal in peace? Sloan found someone else, huh? Well, hopefully, you'll have better luck than I did. I managed to turn up some tracks outside the facility. Bit of a hike, though. Not sure if they were Killman's, but Ixal's not exactly a bustling metropolis. There was a cave system I scanned nearby, but I got attacked before I could look any further. Next place I was planning to visit once I was on my feet again. I'd start there. There was a cave system near where I lost his trail. That's where I'd go.
Said before, I think you're right. Maybe their heart is in the right place here, but that doesn't change the fact that my people are... Sure.
I'm so bored. Can't get my eyes to focus.
Please, please don't put me back in the bag. I'll do whatever you say, just please, not the bag. The retreat? Back with those... Fine. Anywhere is better than here. You do know the way back, right? Inside of the first aid kit. I had to sleep on a steel floor and...
Which one of you crooks bagged him, huh?
Us? Why the hell would we do that? Waste of a perfectly good bag.
You're rambling, kid. Come on. Let's get you cleaned up. You smell like used welder's gear.
Mr. Halftown, I have some medical training. I'd be happy to.
You stay away from me. I want whoever kidnapped my man found and dealt with, understand? I don't care if it's one of your people or mine or a fucking ghost. Find them.
Of course. We'll do what we can. But...
I'm not interested in excuses. I need to know who did this. Just find my man's kidnapper now. This is a start. We'll be around.
I never thought... Are you going to find him?
So you're the one who Sloan roped into helping us. You don't know what a lifesaver that is. Only visitors we normally get are people making deliveries. Unless that's what brought you here in the first place. An invoice I should look at? Oh. Don't get many visitors this far out. Not a lot to see at the moment, but once we're open, the hope is to have plenty on offer. Imports from around the galaxy, stuff made by our residents. Happy to let you peruse what we've already got in. Mostly just the basics at this point, though. Most of the staff here are. Got me for digital intrusion and grand larceny. Was in a bad place. Needed a lot of funds. Fast. So I hacked a couple of Galbank servers. Had maybe 6 years left on my sentence in Aquila when Sloan and Nevin swooped in. They said they'd pay off my whole bounty if I ran through their pilot program. I didn't have much else going on, so I said sure. It was hard work, but Sloan... The woman is compassion in human form. She stuck with me. And now I'm here, running the retreat shop and maybe someday one of my own. Sure did. Anyone who commits to joining the program gets their bounty paid off by the retreat. Not sure who's footing the bill, though. I presume it's coming from outside donations because Sloan and Nevin aren't exactly rolling in cred sticks. Hand selected by yours truly.
I I guess it might have been a bit naive for me to hope for a happy reconciliation, but you brought him back safe. That's what's important. Here, you have my sincerest thanks. But now, we've got a whole new thread to pull on. What are the chances I'd be able to convince you to help us find our kidnapper? Fine. I'm sure I can convince Nevin to trim some fat in the construction budget. Now, Mr. Kilman didn't seem to have a lot of information, but I caught at least 1 or 2 bits I think could help us find our kidnapper. That's right. Not a lot of proper facilities like that in the area. Which makes me think there was a building we were evaluating as a possible site for the retreat not far from here. An old research outpost. Seems like a decent match for the description of our kidnapper's hideaway. Here, the facility's coordinates. Head out there and see what you can find. Thank you again for taking this.
You don't seem like you've suffered too much undue harm. That's good. I am the sole exception. I was a neighborhood administrator for years in New Atlantis. Was tasked with maintaining the Wells section of the city. Home to many of the UC's most underprivileged citizens. I saw firsthand what havoc the bounty system could cause in a neighborhood. Parents in prison, money funneled away from basic needs. It can become a cycle. Here, we hope to give people the tools to escape it. I'm the facility's chief administrator, co-head of the whole retreat with Sloan. She handles most of the resident side of things. Making sure we've got the right people for the program and those people have the right tools to succeed in their own development. I keep the lights on and make sure things hum along smoothly. Currently, very little. But once we're open, should that day ever come, we hope to have all manner of training and personal development courses available for our residents. Most of our staff are formerly incarcerated themselves, so we hope to be able to provide a level of service unlike any other in the galaxy. Take care. Please.
You seem to have weathered that trek well enough. Were you able to find anything at the facility? Not a lot to go on. Monica, anything you can do with this?
I can take a look. Oh, it's encoded. Made to look scrambled. And done badly. Looks like... there. Seems there were 2 of them. Oh my god. It's all here. The accidents, the kidnapping, Greg's attack. These 2. They did it all.
Any mention of who they are? They're not with the construction crew, are they?
No names. But there are a pair of ID numbers. They're with the Trackers Alliance.
The Alliance sent 2 bounty hunters? Here? But our bounties are all paid.
I'm not seeing an Alliance contract or documentation. I think this is off the books.
So, a couple of trackers have decided to haunt us on their own free time. Why?
Doesn't say. It's really not that impressive. Used to sell these on the semi-regular in my old life. A cheating spouse wants to document all their flings without fear of their partner finding out? Just use one of these bad boys. It's computer hacker 101 stuff. And it sure doesn't explain why they've decided to harass us.
It's the official guild of the galaxy's bounty hunters, known for relentlessly stalking their targets in pursuit of a payday. To a tracker, any person with an outstanding record is a coin purse, ready to be cut open and emptied of value, regardless of the circumstances surrounding said person's record. There are few groups more ruthless. Though, it's surprising that they've intervened here, where there's no obvious money to be made. That certainly seems in the realm of possibility.
So then this is an easy fix. They're bounty hunters. We pay them to leave us alone.
And make ourselves a target for every other hunter in the universe. We need to take a stand.
Says the one guy physically incapable of taking one.
We're not doing anything until we actually find them. Any mention in there of where our trackers might be now?
Sounds like they're on a supply run, outside the system.
Then we got a little time. Given their background, and ours, I expect you're the only person here they might actually listen to. Would you be willing to act as an emissary on our behalf? I'm sure we can find a way to solve this issue, which won't require bloodshed.
Let's just pay them and be done with it. I mean, we clearly need more manpower anyway. I'll hire them on as contractors.
To hell with that. We know where they live. Let's have our friend here get the drop on them and send them to the great beyond.
The last thing we need is the galaxy thinking that's how we solve our problems around here, Mr. D'Angelo. I would request you try to avoid any violence. But if you're looking for suggestions on how to proceed, well, it seems we've got opinions to spare. I would hate for anyone else to get hurt in all this, so please, try to solve things peacefully. Good luck out there. They haven't killed anyone. Love, I can only guess at what these two might be after. But it's clear they perceive something about us as a threat. They're afraid. And all you can do with fear is try and understand it. So, just listen to them, okay? Hear what they have to say. And see if you can make whatever it is they're worried about a little less scary. Come back safe, all right?
You're looking for my suggestion? I don't think they're gonna respect anything other than force. But I think Sloane's not gonna be happy if you handle it that way.
What's up? You want to talk Had to deal with my fair share of their kind over the years. You don't get into that job to make it rich. You get into it to be your own boss and prove how tough you are. So, my advice? Let them know that pushing around a bunch of counselors just makes them look like bullies, not tough. Be careful with those goons.
Thank you again for doing this. I'm counting the moments until it's all over. I think you should offer them money, and I'm willing to help. Here, all I have liquid at the moment. Hopefully it'll be enough. Take care, please.
What the hell are you doing here? And just who the holy hell are you?
See? I told you Kilman was gonna lead them to us. Should have slit his throat when we had the chance.
Quiet. Listen, unless you're here to tell us those convicts have decided to close up shop, then we've got nothing to discuss. That's so. What? That's not what this is. We're tough. Listen, It's not like this is personal. We haven't really made a lot of headway. Fine. We'll leave the retreat alone. Can't make any promises about us being the last, though. Just get out, all right? I'm wasting too much time in this place already.
The retreat's safe. From us,
There you are. You were gone for quite a while, love. Are you all right? Were you able to find our trackers? That's the best news I've had in quite a while. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, love. This place, all of us, we are in your debt. There is just one last piece of business, though. Nevin asked to speak to you, in private. He's waiting for you up in the office. Hard to believe it's all over here if you need me.
Ah, there you are. So, first things first, I need to say, well, thank you. And we are exceedingly grateful for it. It's just, the situation you set right, with the trackers, it's one we don't want to find ourselves in again. Luckily, we have someone, our founding donor in fact, who has offered to reach out to the Alliance, ensure their good behavior going forward. Before she does, however, she's asked for the details of what exactly occurred. I've already shared my own insights, but, well, she wants to talk to you, too. Is that something you might be amenable to? Ah, she'll be pleased to hear it. Head to Aquila City in the Cheyenne system. Check in with Justin Sneed, her security chief, and I would ask you to try and be polite. She's the only reason we're here. Oh, be considerate in dealing with our donor. She's so much.
sorry. Spaceport's on.
Tower's closed. Come back some other time. You're them, huh? I've got 2 rules for this little meeting. Rule number 1, you're not to share anything you discuss up there. This is a private matter, and we're going to keep it that way. Rule 2, you decide to get playful with that weapon, we're going to have serious problems. Think you can abide by those? Good. Miss Lance is waiting upstairs. You can go on up.
And that must make you our guest. Please, take a seat.
I'll just be taking notes on what you two discuss.
Why don't you make yourself comfortable before we get started? Now, you may already know who I am. Raisha Lance, CEO Laredo Firearms. And you, I know all about. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for the retreat. Truly, it's a project that's near and dear to my heart. Now, I presume Nevin already got you up to speed. I need details before I talk to the heads of the Trackers Alliance. Make sure their members understand the retreat's off limits. So if you don't mind, I'd like to just jump right into it. Lily here will be taking notes as we go. Now, Nevin said all the various incidents afflicting the retreat, they all stemmed from this pair of rogue bounty hunters. Do I have that right? Good. Lily, make sure we get a copy of all that, will you?
Yes, Ms. Lance.
But Nevin did say you managed to get those two to leave the retreat alone. You mind my asking how you accomplished that? Two trackers and you just talked them down? That's quite the feat. I'm interested in the details, though. How exactly did it all play out? I bet they are. So, only other thing I wanted to ask, and I'm just looking for an opinion here, is there anything in your eyes that could have been done to prevent this happening? That's good to hear. But that should give me enough to present to the Alliance. Thank you for making the time. Now, what you did, well, it deserves something more than just a couple of firm thank yous. Here, I want you to have these. They're a rare make, but I think you've earned it. Now, was there anything else you wanted to talk about before we went our separate ways? You make lots of friends in my position. Friends in the Freestar Collective, friends in the UC. The sort of people with influence over things. Like, say, how much a locality is allowed to spend on Alliance contracts each quarter. When the Alliance heads grasp that it's better for us all to be friends, I expect they'll leave the retreat well enough alone. It's something that's been on my mind for a while now. How best to help the galaxy's incarcerated population? Humanity's tried plenty of bad ideas. Throwing them in jail and forgetting about them. The UC gave that a go way back when. Took all their criminals to a penal colony on Suvorov and left them to their own devices. Well, those folks didn't appreciate that sort of treatment. Took over the colony. And now we call them the Crimson Fleet. Next, we tried making them pay fines instead of going to jail. Except if you don't have the money, that's no sort of improvement at all, is it? Bad idea after bad idea. I thought it was time we tried something new. That's where the plans for the retreat came from. Our attempt at doing things different. That's kind of you, but without your help, it might have stayed just a goal. You have my sincere thanks. Now if you'll excuse me, as you've seen, there's plenty to be done.
Thank you again. This meant a lot to Ms. Lance.
Be all friendly.
figured it all out eventually. I guess I shouldn't be surprised it was trackers. Bunch of cutthroats.
You don't know how much I miss the sound of power tools. Just happening through our neck of the woods, stranger? Nevin told me about your summons. Our, donor wasn't too hard on you, I hope. She can be a hammer when the situation requires, but this project holds a pretty special place in her heart, so I'm sure she was feeling grateful. Well, thanks to your little chat, our donor's doing everything she can to upend the various roadblocks in our way. We're in the process of vetting more security, looking at some additional and more agreeable contractors. Whatever gets this place closer to becoming a reality. Opening's still a ways off, but we'd be going nowhere if you hadn't wandered in. It's hard to say for certain. We're only just now in a place where we can actually assess how long everything's going to take. But with time, we'll get there. And that's thanks to you. That makes two of us. Thank you again, love. For you, our doors will always be open. Here if you need me.
Problems left unchecked become big problems. And we fix big problems here, not make them. Now let's get to work. Welcome, everyone, to the TMD. Captain, looks like we missed each other back at Mast. Listen, I just wanted to say, I could have never guessed where all this was going to lead. But what you've done for Percival, for me, for everyone. Well, there aren't words to express how grateful I am. Well, I think it's safe to say you succeeded beyond anyone's wildest dreams. It's been an honor, Captain. Good luck out there. Always good to have you on site, Captain. Harry.
Interest you in a new assignment? No one else I'd rather have doing it. Who knows? Probably need to cut me down and count the rings to figure it out at this point.
I joined UC DRIP, Defense Research and Initiative Program, right after graduation.
Worked on all kinds of projects, but I felt hard for Xenobio. Way I saw it, nature had already figured out plenty more than we ever will. So, why not just copy some of the answers? Initially, it was a lot of material sciences, using carapace to make tougher ship hulls, biofluids for helmet glass that didn't fog.
But when the war started looming, top brass in the UC military had other ideas for what we should be looking into. That's where xenoweapons got started. There was a team before us, set up in some secret base somewhere, that laid down a fair bit of groundwork on the field. But when a lab accident took them down, they called on Hadrian and I to take up the mantle, set in motion everything that's come since. Oh yeah, known each other since the xenoweapons team first set up on Mars.
You can imagine my shock when I walked into this place for the first time and found some plucky 19-year-old was gonna be my partner. We were supposed to be co-heads initially, but you've dealt with Hadrian. You can imagine about how long that lasted. But the Major knew her stuff. Saw potential in all her staff and knew how to get the best out of them. Kind of bull only an uncynical woman like Adrian could pull off. For all the damage that group did, we were real tight-knit. Having that back, it's nice. Why? You wanna watch an old man squirm? What we did back then, we were trying to win a war. We used every tool we had, tools we were permitted to use at the time, to try and win it. Well, let's hope it never comes to that. But at least now, with the TMD, some of that work is finally being put to better ends. Makes looking back a little less painful. You heard right. These terramorph attacks, they caught the UC off guard. UC Brass doesn't like that. So, they want us patrolling the front lines of xenological life, ensure we've got intel on any possible new alien threats. Which means, we need someone to track down said aliens, and harvest samples from them. And not just any sample from these animals is gonna do either. We're trying to build a comprehensive picture here, which requires specific cells from specific family lines of some oftentimes unfriendly creatures. But since dealing with unfriendly creatures falls square in your wheelhouse, well, I figured we might be able to recruit you for the task. This isn't the same sort of harvesting you and Hadrian were doing with the Terramorphs. A little will go a long way here. If you can get close enough to these creatures to harvest from them directly, you should be able to collect what we need without killing them. I checked with Lieutenant Walter before heading out. A good EM weapon could serve you well on these missions. Though, if heavens forbid, there's no viable option other than putting the things down. We're only talking a select few specimens here. These populations will recover. Pretty much every beast, behemoth, critter, and chimera humanity's run across is on the list. But we can send in-house researchers after the little guys. Your job will be primarily dealing with the, more troublesome species. Glad to hear it. There is just one additional wrinkle. UC spec'd this as a one-person job, but I convinced them this sort of task merits expert backup. So, if you're interested, they've agreed to let you take Hadrian with you. You'll have to convince her, of course, but I don't think she'll fight you too badly. I expect she wouldn't mind too badly being out there herself, so pay her a visit before you head out. Now, let's get you the details of your first quarry. Here you go. Something up with the job? Head there, find your specimens, and bring those samples back here. I'll have a tech waiting outside to collect them from you.
Yes, what?
Hey, you need something? Okay, I'm listening. What's going on? Things are good. It's nice to see the place cleaned up again. Brings back a lot of old memories. Been great so far. I'm happy to be working with Percival again. I think the TMD's set up to make a real difference in the settled systems. I'm honored to be a part of it. Backup? What does that have to do with me? Come with you? You can't be serious. There's no way Percival would okay that. I have important work to do here with the TMD. I mean, I do too, but leaving the TMD? That's a big decision. It's not in my nature to say no when someone asks for help. Especially not a friend. I saw myself staying at the TMD for the long haul. But if life's taught me one thing, it's that plans don't always work out. If you really need backup out there, I'll watch your six. Yeah, I think so too.
Thank you for the offer. Really. It was unexpected, but I think this will be for the best. Both for me and for the settled systems.
I'll head out soon. I just need to talk to Percival before I go. He's gonna get an earful for arranging this without talking to me about it first.
See you, Captain.
Need something? See you around.
I'm on vacation because I don't.
Hope you're staying safe out there.
It's my pleasure to make sure our guests.
There are so many activities I'm looking forward to doing. But I'm just having a good time relaxing.
You'd think we'd be a prime target for pirates, but they know to stay away for the most part.
Don't worry about us. We're just here to keep the peace.
I was worried about my beach body until I spoke.
I'm just glad I don't work on the luxury cruisers that bring.
I guess I have to admit this resort isn't as bad as I thought it'd be.
Everything here is a little more expensive than what I expected.
No one's going to care if I call out sick from work for another week, right?
I wish I had booked a stay for longer.
No major incidents in a while. Let's hope it stays that way.
We've got some of the best private security in the world.
It may be paradise, but that doesn't mean we don't run into trouble, right?
I'm here to satisfy your needs. Stay.
off. I ain't bothered.
Not to be a downer.
I'm not much of a beach person.
Someone put up Keaton's drawings in the stone.
Some of our guests think everything is complimentary.
Paradiso Security's only here for your safety. Pretend we're not here.
Hey there.
Your safety is our number one priority.
Ishu, greetings, sir. How may I assist you? Huh. Well, this is unexpected. You really shouldn't have felt obligated to help. But the truth of the matter is, you've actually saved me a great deal of time and headaches, so I suppose I should give praise where praise is due? So, good. I should probably give you something for your trouble. Thank you, I guess. It is my pleasure to make your stay and enjoy your stay.